Oh, there's my daughter in the background now.
Oh, Paul MTB. Oh.
We've got Paul MTB. Paul MTB's in the house.
Oh, yeah? Oh. Let's get him up on the thing, shall we? There we go.
Yeah. Don't
get too excited, though, Paul, because this is only a test. Don't know how long we're going to be on for. You might want to give your boss a ring, ask if there's any overtime.
I knew you were coming, Paul. Look, I got some more books from here.
Did you see with Paul, by the way, in his recent video, he did the upgrades one, didn't he? About all the different ones on there with his lad. And then on his last video, he went, actually, no, the best upgrade, I think, is actually bike maintenance, looking after your bike and learning how to go. Well, that's pretty decent, that's for sure.
You have to do part 2.
So I had SPDs were one of my top upgrades. So
it isn't like I could ride my bike before I had flat pedals. It's just that flat pedals just gave me that little bit more confidence on the steep stuff.
Yeah, well, you always know on your videos. You always turn around and went, I can't get clipped in before you're going down some steep section.
It is a physical thing. I mean, even if you're a really good rider, once you've stopped and unclipped, they will admit it's 10 times harder to get going again.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're a really good rider, you probably wouldn't have to unclip in the first place.
Or stop.
Well, that's why I stopped with spuds. I tried them for a bit, and it wasn't getting out. Getting out of them was easy. It just second next, getting back in when you're going to have a rocky ground.
Yeah.
You're trying to get your bloody foot and find when it clipping. You end up like going through ridiculous rock sections with your feet everywhere, like some sort of newborn bloody deer or something.
But is that, Jason? Is that the kind of the old school small ones? The really small ones, or the newer ones that are occasion?
I've had both. I had the original first ones I had with them, the big red DX platform ones.
Right.
And then I got rid of them and got some of the tiny XTR ones, and I preferred the XTR ones. Not just because they were XTR, and posher, but just, I don't know, they just seem to work better. The big DX ones, it seemed to be harder to get your foot back into because of the platform bit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. I suppose I've been riding with SPD since about 92 or something silly. So I don't know whether it's just I feel I couldn't change, but it's just to me I get more confidence by being connected to the bike than not. Until probably when you get a really steep bit, and I think that it probably does prey on your mind. And I think that's maybe a confidence thing.
You need to come to the Reeking, Jonathan, and see how you get on with it then.
Comments up there. Come on, Christian.
Come on. You've got to say you're the only one that can type.
Oh, he bought a hip pack. You see that, Christian? He calls it a hip pack. What do you call it?
Yeah.
Your fanny bag, is it?
Has he froze?
Yeah.
He's just got to. He pauses because he doesn't want to answer the question about his fanny bag. He keeps his tampons.
I tell you what, he can hold his breath for a long time, can't he? Oh,
he's gone.
He's gone. That's it.
We're
live on air. Nobody can control us.
We control Christian's channel.
Mummy, what's going on?
Wait, on here, there's not a massive amount of it. Dave, when we can get back out, there's another place near Oswestry, which I know you'd love. I know all you guys would love it. But if you fancy that, it's more Shropshire. It's not all steep. It's not as crazy as Oswestry was. Very close to it. And yeah, I think we should go there. You'd love it.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Is that where you damaged your knee, Dave?
That was Oswestry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was over the bars, yeah. Not nice.
Is that the one you got on camera, Mark, where he was in front of you?
Mark was behind me.
Yeah,
I took the wrong line. I didn't know the trail, because it's hard, isn't it? When you don't know the trail, it's really fucking difficult. Trail. You've never seen it before. You don't know what line to take.
To be fair, Dave, Oswestry is just bloody difficult, isn't it? That whole place is. I love it, but yeah, it's one of the craziest places I've ridden. I think there's not an easy trail there. There's nothing easy.
I think it's any trail for me that kind of Jason introduces me to that I don't know, and I'm just like, okay, this is gonna. What is it? He says that it's got a couple of naughty bits on it, and that's when you realise you're in for a lot of fun. At that point, or you're just going to shit yourself at some point and go, I'm just not quite ready for that.
I got some beauty between the legs, mate, when we get back out. I'd wear 2 full face helmets.
Yeah, you know it's serious. If Jason gets on a full face helmet, it's serious. There's no other word for it, is there? Oh no. Although Mark, you did good at Wrekin, didn't you? Going down that steep rock run, I was well impressed by you doing that. That was scary.
It was a moment of madness. I don't know what comment
really well, mate.
Sometimes you look at something and you talk yourself out of things, don't you? Sometimes, and I just looked at it and I just thought, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I would not allow myself to say I wasn't doing it.
Is this that final drop onto the fire road?
Yeah.
You could see. I mean, you could see it on your face. You were pleased with yourself, but you're also kind of papping yourself at the same time. A mixed emotion on your face, very much so.
Hey, there he is. Used to work with that guy.
He's on point.
Yeah.
No, yeah, my arm. Right, I've got what's called cubital tunnel syndrome in my arm, which is like basically because I've window cleaned for years and years and years. My arm's fucked basically. And I've got to do physio. So I've got to go like that, yeah? And then I've got to go like that and stretch all of that out. Because my arm was getting so bad, just to lift like a bottle of like beer or something or a bottle of milk, it was killing me. So,
bloody hell.
That's no good.
You don't have much luck, mate.
Well, it's just from window cleaning. It's because I've been doing it so long. I've got to go for physio on my shoulder as well. So I've just basically I've quit window cleaning now. I'm not going to be cleaning windows. All I do is drive the van. I'll do like a little bit with my right arm downstairs, just traditional window cleaning.
Beg your pardon.
Got his laptop for that.
It's on his left.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's it. My window cleaning career is over.
Jesus. So what?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're still keeping the business going because you're doing the.
Yeah. I just drive around, and I've got a guy who does it all for me. But obviously, I have to pay him. So
is that George?
Yeah, George. Good old George. Still with me, man.
It's a shame you couldn't get him onto bike. It looks like he'd make a great sidekick.
Yeah, he was. He hates mountain bike. Hates mountain bike. Makes it shit.
So that's the one thing I've never had. I've never really had a sidekick yet. I mean, there's Sean, but Sean had ever come out and he gets a bit grumpy. I mean, especially if you mention COVID, it's very angry.
Cameraman, isn't it? You need one to be a cameraman.
Yeah.
Get the angles on that.
But a cameraman who bikes at least, I guess, because you want to get away from the van and stuff. I guess you can't say, George, you mind walking like 3 miles up there to film me riding past?
Yeah. You need someone who's into biking, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like Mark's got the right idea, but he can't seem to keep hold of his sidekicks, can he? He had a bob, and then he didn't have the bob, and then he's got a Will for a bit.
I've still got Will.
Good old Wilf. He
just got catch Will. That's the problem.
Wilf must have like years worth of footage ready now. I mean, he's done so many rides and taken footage of everyone.
I've even
released anything. God, yeah.
What happened to Glyn?
You know what it is?
A guy called Glyn you used to ride with.
Yeah, Glyn was never really into mountain biking. He started the channel with me. And it was actually his idea to do the channel. And I was like, oh, yeah, all right, and I'll do it. But, he weren't really into mountain biking. And then, basically, he just decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And then I never heard from him again. We didn't really have a falling out as such. He just sort of decided to go off in a different direction, and that was that. And I haven't heard from him for about 3 or 4 years. So
Bloody hell.
Maybe he set up a scuba diving channel with another mate, even though he doesn't like scuba diving. It's such a weird thing, isn't it? You know what? I bloody hate mountain bikes. Why don't we set up a mountain bike channel? I mean, I hate football with a passion. Maybe I'll do a football channel. Probably get more fun to the views, wouldn't it? Watching a bunch of bellheads kicking a ball around the field over a weekend.
Got to be careful here. Mark gets quite protective about his football and Stoke and all this.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah. Not all of us hate football, guys. Well, most of us do, but, you know, it's all right.
I used to love it until Chesterfield got pushed out at league. I don't bother with it anymore now. Boring.
Tree and full face plants the ground straight from the top. It doesn't stick on the tree. It just goes up and then bang straight down. He's laying on the ground. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I'm
not seeing. Well, have you been watching Fairclough's channel at all?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Yeah, his video. I'm really enjoying them. I think it's cracking because I think some of the pros channels, and it's not just sour grapes. They're a bit like, look at me, but it's just aren't, and they're funny. There's the one I watched the other day. There was Steve, Pete, Rob Warner, and Steve Jones off in Wales somewhere, picking around on e-bikes and then trials bikes, and it was just hilarious. And it was just like everyman type thing, you know what I mean? It wasn't, oh, look at us.
No, he is good. I'm just trying to see what's
Dave,
on there.
He's a big fan of your channel, isn't he, Dave?
Who's Fairclough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard that. Yeah, someone told me that. Yeah,
you got mentioned, didn't you, on one of the drops? Is it the GBU drop? They called it the Dave drop or something along that line. I can't remember which one it was.
If that gets renamed the Jenvey drop, oh man.
Oh dear.
Hey, do you know what though?
That when the trail's closed for maintenance.
Can see it. You'd be good though if you got out riding with him. I reckon he'd be all right. He'd probably look after you. Like I think Jason was saying that, wasn't he? He'd be sound for that.
Sam Basket did. Sam Basket tried Kelly.
It did, didn't he?
Yeah. I reckon. I don't know if I mentioned it today, but if you did meet up with Brendan, because if he's expressed an interest, I wouldn't turn him down because I've met him a few times and he's such a genuine bloke. He's lovely, he really is. I've seen him up on Surrey Hills before, like a few of us out, and he'd just stop and have a chat with you. I mean, he doesn't say like, if he just meets you and he'll like, oh, come for a ride, because he knows, you're going to be trapping. He's not, but he will literally, he'll come across and, how you doing, lads? He'll have a chat with you, just like anybody else would chat with you. He's not up himself in the slightest, and he would not try and humiliate you in the slightest.
Yeah. He's a bloody good rider.
Oh, God, yeah. He's incredible.
Who's this? Fairclough?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a different level, isn't he? He's something else. I don't think he does a bad video either.
No. I've actually seen him riding up in Surrey Hills. Well, not, just tracked up, but seen him ride. And I've seen stuff where you cannot even see a gap, you know what I mean? And he goes like 20-odd foot off nothing and just places his bike perfectly. It's like, how is he doing that? It looks like he's levitating, I swear. Bonkers.
They all operate on a higher level, don't they? There's just...
Yeah.
You can't...
Superhuman.
There's something else. There really are something else on that. Ollie Wilkins has been doing some good videos recently. I've been watching them. I've been quite enjoying that. We could see he broke his ankle, didn't he, doing that crazy drop?
Yeah.
They're quite good, his videos. I'm quite enjoying that. Although I'm looking forward to Jason's one coming out next Monday. That's really different. That is really different.
That's a good one.
Tabloid news in there as well.
Not much riding it, is there?
Not Photoshop. Wasn't Photoshop though, was it?
No. It's going to be
a lot of faffing about that.
Worth it though. The end product's amazing. Definitely worth it.
Well, I hope it goes down well. It's just the thing with it is, as you know, how do you tag that? How do you get interest in that? I think people who already watch my videos, I think will like it. I don't think it'll pull many other people in to watch it. Because it's not going to be
Starting
like
your
blatant,
YouTube
like,
channel.
oh. Yeah, you know what I mean now.
Yeah.
People are going to, ooh, this seems like tips on how to start a YouTube channel. They're going to go into it and say, this hasn't
No,
told
it's
me
not.
anything. This is just some idiot.
He lies.
Yeah, give you the reality though. It's not easy though, is it? YouTube. I mean, I think we all thought the same when I first started. I was like, just record it, put it together, and get it on YouTube. It's only then when I recorded it and realised it wasn't actually as simple as just uploading onto YouTube to get it done. I was just like, Christ Almighty! It's
actually
4 days
gets
later.
harder the more you do it, I think, because the more you do it, the more you realise you've got to do more editing. You've got to cut things out. You've got to be quite ruthless with your footage sometimes. Yeah. Whereas when you first start, you literally just chuck it on there, don't you?
I think what Jason said in that video we were just talking about, that it's just you riding along, which most of my earlier stuff is. It's fine for you, and I started doing it just for me because you'll sit there gulping at yourself riding, going, "Oh, that's amazing," because it's me. But when you start realising there's other people watching it, and you probably need to do a lot more with it if it's going to be interesting. You start pushing it, and you want to do something different anyway because you get bored of doing the same thing. So, and you see what others do, like we've done, and you kind of push it on a bit, don't you? You kind of I need to do more. So that's definitely.
I think that's right. Yeah, that's where Dave, you got it right from the start because you didn't just film yourself riding. You told a story in every episode from the very start, and I think that's a massive amount of your appeal. I know you get a lot of people say, "Oh, I love watching Dave's videos. I love watching his crashes," but it's not the crashes; it's the story that you tell and the engagement you have with the audience. That is what's key to your channel, and it has been from day one.
Yeah, it's true, that definitely, and he stitches it together, doesn't he? It's nice.
Yeah,
because you can't, as an average rider, you can't compete with like the pros, like because they're always going to be doing bigger stuff and it's more amazing and that. So you have to beat them by being better on camera, talking to camera. That's the only way you can beat them. Because you'll never beat them with, but they'll always do like a bigger jump or something. But if you can when you engage with the camera, that's when you've got to be on point and be better than them.
Yeah,
because that's what's going to separate you. Like,
well, it's the unique selling points. It's your USP. It's the thing that makes people want to watch you. As you say, none of us are ever going to compete with Brendan Fairclough, are we? Well, I don't think so. But
exactly. So, but see, a lot of those guys, a lot of them pros, like they're having to do the vlogging now because they've got to promote themselves and like their brands, and they're sponsored by that. So like. There's some of them you can see they're like a bit fish out of water on camera, but they're trying to do it, but they're not that good. They're not actually that good because they're not used to doing it. They're used to just riding down a mountain really fast or doing a massive jump. Like when they have to then talk in front of camera and like give how they're feeling, it's like really they find it difficult. I think some of them are good. Yeah. I mean, I think Ben Deacon's quite good. He's really nailed it.
Should they have to be like that though? This is if you're good, and it doesn't matter. Yes, the pressure, it's the commercial pressure that's mad. I mean, I like always makes me laugh when I go back to the Formula One thing, the motorsport thing. Kimi Räikkönen, you look at him, he's the most awkward. Couldn't give a stuff about talking to the media, but he seems to get away with that. Maybe that's his USP, being so miserable. But I kind of also feel like they shouldn't have to be like that way. You're good at what you do. I don't also have to be this. Clown who's grating in the camera and doing all that stuff. This is what I do. So I don't know. But yeah, the ones who are really good are good at both, I suppose. But
so the way I see it,
the thing is though,
I can see that argument. Like if you're a sportsman, if you're a professional sportsman and you're paid a wage, so like say if you're a footballer, your job is to put the ball in the back of the net. But it's a bit different for a mountain biker because if you're not a top level guy, where you're on a really good wage because you're number one or number two or number three in the world of downhill or slopestyle or whatever it is. If you're one of the guys who are further back in the pack, maybe like, in top 10 or top 20 or something.
You've got to justify having a free bike.
You've got to be able to, you've got those brands who are paying you that money they want
Yeah.
to see you pushing their product. And if you can't do it,
Yeah,
if you can't do it on that camera, then you're fucked, really.
Yeah, I would bet that Pinned sells more bikes for Rocky Mountain, say, a mid-pack racer, sponsored racer. Because Pinned,
Yeah, do you know she's not sponsored anymore by them? I made that mistake. Becky Skelton. She was at One Giant Leap when we went.
Saracen.
Sponsored. Yeah, she's so actually Jim's now the only one sponsored by Rocky, but he will sell those bikes because he posts it in the Rocky Mountain group on Facebook, and he's a real person, isn't he? As such,
well, he appeals to people like us who can afford them.
Yeah,
to be honest,
and that's it. It's every man riding. Yeah, you want to see what an average person gets out of a bike. I mean, somebody you know is down a bike hammering past, they could ride a bloody Carrera Banshee and kick our asses. It's something like, I know Jim at Pin is a damn good rider, but he's talking about the bikes, and he's got engaging videos that people are watching, a lot of people, and that's, I think, a lot of sort of mountain bike companies looking at now and thinking, well, here's the future. I mean, I think in the UK there's the only big channels, Sam Pilgrim and Harry Main, isn't it? But you look at the States, like BKXE and Single Track Sampler and Cessna and all that lot, they're getting millions of views, and they're selling bikes for the companies left, right, and centre more than a sponsored rider would.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're relatable, aren't they? I mean, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Well, a guy, Jim was saying like some I don't know who it was, but like a lot of these sponsors now, they don't want to sponsor like some downhill guy or something. They want to sponsor YouTubers because they're the people that are the influencers that are going to shift more product for them.
Didn't he was there a bit of a to-do online about this? And some professional race was moaning about the fact that, your YouTube influencer kind of thing are taking this limelight away from them.
Yeah.
I might have half got that, but
it's been on Pink Bike. I think that James Smurthwaite did an article on it, and the comments just went crackers. Absolutely, it was like
really
thousands of comments. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to happen.
Although we have got the 5 Yorkie challenge for Mark doing the road gap at Delamere Forest, though, haven't we? Still, that's still on the cards.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you say so.
Yeah.
You said it on your video.
Don't settle for anything less than 10, Mark.
I also said I was kidding.
We can stop at that bit when I play it next week.
This has turned into a live stream, by the way. We've been on for 50 minutes.
Jeez. Oh,
We're getting paid for this.
We're supposed to be a 5-minute test.
When we were at Ladybower and I went down Parking Cliff and crashed, I don't think anyone remembered this. I don't know why I'm saying it now. I said if I hit 2,000 subs, that'll be my 2,000 sub challenge.
I'll we'll see how the crack at that Parking Cliff, though. That was nuts.
It'd have to be dry for a long time.
That looks nothing on camera compared to what it actually was.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Somewhere else, isn't it?
No, no, not happening.
Hey, we've got Midlife Crisis guy watching, and your MTB local and Trail Tracker. I didn't even see him as well. Let's get him up on there. DBL, gate crashing your test. Interesting conversation. We're glad you like it over there with your jammy sodding Swiss trails that you've got, while we've got canals over here. Hope you're loving life.
Hey, I got the dingle.
I tell you, have you seen the trails that he's got over there? Trail Tracker. Beautiful, really nice.
I'll have a look now.
Yeah, it should do. Are you not subscribed to his channel?
I don't know. I'm about to check. I might be.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
I don't memorize everything.